What is happening? Steeler Nation. What it do? What's going on, Steeler family, man? Appreciate everybody tuning in. Sorry that you missed me last week, but hey, had some things to do. But I'm back here this week, and I'd like to thank you and welcome you to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday, episode 145, live from the virtual shore, aka the Steel Basement. What's going on? I'm gonna let y'all know really quick. I say this every week, right? And I know y'all probably laugh because every time I say this, it seems to go longer. But I don't have nothing to talk about today, really. I really don't. It's a really, really low period right now. I mean, we are approaching the draft. I'm still watching film and things like that. But I only got couple quick things to talk about. I'm just going to talk about the pre-draft visits. I'm going to talk about all of the moves so far that the Steelers have made in free agency. Not really each person in depth, but just read the names and want to get you guys' temperature to see how you guys feel. You see the title. The title says, which free agent is the most exciting? Which one are you the most excited? The most excited for? We'll talk about that. I'll take some phone calls if you guys are available. Not feeling 100%, so, the energy may be off a little bit, but we're going to make it happen. But this is going to be a relatively short show, man. I will throw up my timer just in case, but yeah, this time I'm going to stick to what I mean by it not being too long of a show. But let's get right to it, man. Before we get into it, I'm always going to introduce the early commenters and say what's up to you guys. Joshua Shields, Ron Simpson Gaming, Jack Bauer, Wyatt Diggy, my man, Jared Double, Steeler Lee, Steeler Cards. Hello, Destiny. Hello, Miss Destiny. How you doing? Y'all know the routine. We give a special hello to our ladies of the chat. What's going on? Destiny, good to see you. Ghost Marley, BQ412, Wave Dave in the building. Hello, Miss Lanisha in the building as well. Make sure you guys take time and say hello to Lanisha, another lovely lady of the chat. Luis D. Who else is up in here? Brian Williams. Jason Winningham. Hello, Mr. Winningham. How you doing tonight, sir? Got Derek Moore, Tina Williams, assuming. Nowadays you can't assume, but a name like Tina, I assume another female listener. So hello, Miss Lady. How you doing? Make sure you guys take time out to say hello to the lovely ladies of the chat. And that's it for now. Let's dive right in. All right, so first up, what I'm going to talk about is a couple things. Let's talk a little bit about a couple things that I've saw and, just to speak about them. It's not real news. I mean, I expect these type of things, but, I see a lot of people talking about Kenny Pickett and saying that he's continuing to work and, loving his determination and all of that. And to me, it cracks me up, right? Because these are the things that we should be seeing. And again, I'm not taking away from Kenny. I'm just laughing at the stories that the general media likes to drum up and likes to either make a big deal or not a big deal, right? Because if we didn't see him doing that, it would be a big story, even though he could still be training. So if he wasn't showing us that he was training, it'd be a story. But now all of a sudden that he's training, it's this big story. I mean, that's what I expect him to do, especially as a rookie, coming off of that rookie season, getting an early start during the Jets game and then, kind of having his bumps in the road and then getting a little bit better near the end of the season. I would expect him to want to get right back at it. I do admire that as well. It's just funny to me, man. If you can really watch the media and they can their temperature can either go this way or that way. They make a story out of nothing virtually. Cracks me up. Another thing that cracks me up that I want to talk about really quick, man, is Steeler Nation. It seems like Steeler Nation is never satisfied with any free agent signing, trade attempt, draft pick. It's hilarious to me. I've watched over the last couple weeks, again, I didn't do the show last week. I was out of town with my wife. But it's as some of these guys are being selected in terms of free agents, it just cracks me up, man, how there's always somebody that's poking a hole in everything the Steelers do. Every single free agent. Oh, I hate this guy, and this is the reason why. Every draft pick. Oh, I hate that pick for the Steelers, and this is why. I'm like, some of you guys, I don't know how the Steelers could make you happy. I really don't. I really don't. And, they're judging these free agents as if these guys are the end-all, be-all. Clearly what the Steelers are doing, in my opinion, just using my own two eyes and, what brain capacity I possess, looks like to me they're just getting a lot of depth with potential starters. A couple of these guys who are free agents pickups are going to be starters, but also they're getting a lot of good quality depth, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. But here's the last thing I want to talk about really quick before I get into the two topics. Bud Dupree. I'm going to take a sip of water on this one. Interesting. This is very interesting. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I've seen a lot floating around since it was said that Bud Dupree was in Pittsburgh. I remember the days when there were so many people that hated Bud Dupree. And then, he went through that period where myself and Kenyon and a few others out there, we start calling him 48, right? And what we do over here, man, on Terrible Towel Tuesday or the Steel Basement in general, what we do over here is when a player is not playing up to his potential, we don't call him by his name anymore. We address him by his number. So most of you guys watching tonight remember when he was just 48. His name was 48. We didn't even give him enough courtesy to call him
90
Bud.
seconds.
I remember one time I even went as far as to say, hold on, guys, my bad. Let me change the time limit here on Blog Talk. Looks like I didn't. My bad. Let me extend that so she doesn't scream at us talking about 1 minute. All right, I'm back. I recall calling him, I said, I want you to at least be Bud Dupree. And one time he was Dud Dupree. And I always wanted him to get to Stud Dupree. Now, I will say, in his last season, he had moments where he looked like he could possibly be stud, but he never quite got to stud status. Never quite did. It was moments. Think about it. His last season, it was moments his last season with us where we saw the stud like peaking. It was popping out a little bit, but he just never would let it, curl all the way over. Y'all know I like to use movie references. If some of y'all understand what I'm saying when I say that, the curl never quite curled all the way. Never quite went stud, but he had earned his name back. At least to me, I still consider him, as of today, as a Steeler. But my good brother Kenyon still calls him 48, but I understand why. Because he went on to Tennessee, and it looked like he turned back into Dud. Didn't do anything in Tennessee. I know he had injuries and things of that nature, but hey, brother, that's part of the business. Can't stay healthy. A lot of people say he didn't become Bud Dupree with us until he was healthy. So his health has always been in question. I'm going to pause and interject right now to give Luis a round of applause and say a thank you for the donation. Let's go ahead and do that. If I can find the button. There we go. My man Luis says, I actually like the signing of Braden Fihoko, even though he's not talked a lot, but looking at his film, to me, he's solid and will help the D-line. Okay, I can appreciate that. And definitely the theme of tonight's show is I'm asking you guys, who do you think is the most exciting free agent? And it may not be it doesn't have to be a definitive answer. It could be who you are most excited about. And I don't know if Luis is saying this, but I'm going to use Luis as an example. Maybe that's the most exciting to him. And that's cool, because I want to see who you guys are most excited by and why. And, you can kind of hold that in the chat right now, because y'all know during the show, until I get to the chat portion, I'm not really looking right over here. So I'll ask you guys again before I get to the phone calls. Maybe we'll have that quick segment. But, yeah. So let's talk about Bud really quick, man. Look, he came to Pittsburgh for a visit, and then it then was reported that he went through a physical, and now at this point, we're waiting to see if he's going to sign or not. I will just give you my quick 2 cents on it. Listen, I think having Bud Dupree back in the fold right now, even at age 30, as a rotational piece, I would take that in a heartbeat. If the money is right. That's the big caveat. If the money is right, I would take him as a third edge rusher in a heartbeat. Because as of right now, as of today, I don't know who the third edge rusher is. To my knowledge, Jameer Nelson. I said Jameer Nelson. Whoa. I went all the way to basketball. Jameer Jones. Jameer Jones is the only guy that I can recall that is the third edge rusher. There's probably some other guys on the roster that I'm not thinking about. But also, I know they said that Landon Roberts has played on the edge as well. He played a little bit of edge with Miami, but I think the Steelers are looking for him more so to be an inside backer. So, contrary to what I said before, now kind of hearing how they've talked about him, I think Roberts is going to be more of an inside guy. So I have no idea. Oh, yeah, thanks, Kenyon. Quincy Roche, I mean, maybe he has materialized into something. I don't know. But, are they going to draft one? Maybe. But all that, I'm just saying, speaking solely to the Bud Dupree aspect. If the money fits, I would take him as a third rusher. I feel like he could be healthy as a third man. I feel like he still has enough to give you something as a third man, opposite Highsmith or opposite TJ, depending on what the rotation is. I'd take it. Why not? He knows the defense. He has one job. Come in and spell this guy, apply some pressure. Bud Dupree also was pretty decent at setting the edge. If you guys would recall, I'd take it, but only at the right price. And we'll see what happens. I would assume since he hasn't signed elsewhere, maybe he passed the physical and now he's kind of waiting to see if there's another offer he can get that, better than what the Steelers may have offered him. Maybe that's what's going on. You would expect the Steelers to have offered him something, which is the reason why they brought him in. But we'll see. If he didn't pass the physical, I think we would have heard that. So we just have to wait and see. And that's all I'm going to say. That's my 2 cents on it. Would I take it? Yes. At the right price? Yes. Would I overpay for him? No. I would not. Would I take Bud Dupree to play even more snaps than expected? No, I would not. I want TJ and Highsmith to be the majority snap earners, if you will. And I want to see that pair together more. Hopefully TJ stays healthy this year. But I would take Bud Dupree in a heartbeat at this stage as the third guy, a guy that already knows the defense. So we wouldn't even have to worry about him coming in and learning. No. But we'll see. Okay, Nathaniel Cranshaw. Okay. I don't know. I don't think nobody really cares, but, thanks for watching. But again, I always say this, very rarely do you see Steeler Nation that on any other podcast over there saying, but my Steelers. We don't really have to do that. But welcome. Thanks for watching. But all right, man, let's get into the real topics here, man. So let's talk about these pre-draft visits, man, and then we'll get into the free agency stuff. So far, this is what we know up until now. There's 20 out of 30, and shout outs to Steelers Depot that has, kept track of this information. They've got the names of those who have been scheduled, or at least those who have been visited. Right now, like I said, we're 20 out of 30. Quarterback Clayton Tune. I don't know if he pronounces it Tune or Tooney. I don't know. It's spelled like Tune, Tune, from Houston. Wide receiver Jonathan Mingo for Ole Miss. Wide receiver Charlie Jones from Purdue. He's scheduled. Looks like Jonathan Mingo already visited back on the 20th. Wide receiver Jaden Reed, Michigan State. He's scheduled. Offensive tackle DeJuan Jones from Ohio State. We already knew that one. He's scheduled. Offensive guard Osiris Torrance from Florida. Scheduled. Offensive guard Steve Avila, if I'm saying that correctly. He's from TCU. They have him scheduled. Offensive guard Chandler Zavala, North Carolina State. He visited today. Offensive center. It says OC, so I guess that's offense center. I guess. John. Oh yeah, I know this kid. Duh. John Michael Smith from Minnesota. So yeah, obviously. But it's just weird. It's weird that they wrote it OC instead of just putting center. But yeah, most of us that have been paying attention know who John Michael Smith is from Minnesota. He visited on the 24th of March. O-lineman Cody Mauch. Is it Mauch or Mauch? From North Dakota State. He visited on the 31st. D-lineman Javon Dexter from Florida. He's scheduled. D-lineman Keanu Benton. Keep an eye on that one. Keanu Benton from Wisconsin. He visited yesterday on the 3rd. Edge rusher Tuli Tupuloto. Kenyon, please help me with that pronunciation. Is it Tupuloto or Pelotu? But Tuli Tupulotu is from USC. He visited yesterday. Kenyon advised me of that yesterday, actually. Cornerback Keely Ringo. He's scheduled from Georgia. I told y'all again. Keep an eye on Keely. But we got some more cornerbacks that I'm very happy to see here. Emmanuel Forbes, Mississippi State. He's scheduled. Tyreek Stevenson from Miami. He's scheduled. Cornerback Julius Brent. Keep an eye on that one. Kansas State. He's actually next on my list to watch. He visited yesterday on the 3rd. Cornerback Joy Porter Jr. We already knew that was coming. He visited yesterday, on March 30th. For those of you that don't know, yes, that is Joy Porter Jr. Yes, Joy Porter's son from Penn State. Also today, cornerback Deontay Banks. That's another one to keep an eye on. Speedy guy from Maryland. Visited today. Then there's a safety, Daniel Scott from California, who is scheduled. And then also today, Tanner Ingle, North Carolina State, and he is also a safety. So those are your pre-draft visits. Why do I point that out? I say it each and every year. Most of you guys would notice if you follow the Steelers, they have a very deep history in drafting from this list, whether that's, first, second, third, fourth, whatever round, right? And a lot of times when guys become free agents, they go back and look at these lists. And a lot of times it's guys that they may have had an interest in when they were first coming out for the draft. So the pre-draft visits is always an important list. Now, if you want to get even more, granular with the list, take a look at where these guys are from and try to figure out if Mike Tomlin and or Omar Khan was at the pro day. If you can figure that out, and if it's a top, a Power 5 conference, one of the Power 5s. If you can figure that out, then sometimes, most of the time, the first round pick comes from that. So traditionally, with Tomlin and Kevin Colbert, it was always Power 5. Both of them were at the pro day, or at least one of them. And it's been that way for many, many years. Can you necessarily say it's going to be that way this year? You can't really say that because Omar Khan is a little different than Kevin Colbert. We're already seeing that. And you just never know. You never know how Andy Weidel will come into that mix. But, if you want to believe in the same old tradition, then just pay very close attention to, because I would think if Mike Tomlin has been a part of that, I would think Mike Tomlin is still a part of that. So pay attention to where they've gone, where both of those guys were at, or at least Tomlin was at, pro day wise. Match that up with the pre-draft visit, and that may narrow it down to the positions and or guys that they may be looking to draft with the 17th pick overall. All right, so let's get into the real talk now, man. Then I'll open it up to the phone. I'm going to throw the question out there to you guys. I will read them off to you as far as the names, but I will throw the question out there right after I finish the names, then so I can make sure I see you guys' chats. Want to talk about who you feel might be the most exciting free agent. Who excites you the most in terms of the free agent signing and why. Looks like we do have another donation. So I'm going to thank Luis D. Let's give Luis another round of applause. Luis says, my gut feeling is that the Steelers are going with either Ringo or Banks. Which one you think fits with the type of defense Steelers run? I haven't seen much of Banks, so I can't really give my real assessment. I will say this though. I watched 3 games of Keeley, and maybe I'll watch a little more. The one thing that I'm not liking out of him as far as him being a first is he's speedy, yes, but he doesn't seem to be so physical, at least in the games that I watch. He doesn't seem to get his hands on guys, at least in the game I watch. He seems to be a touch behind in terms of like recognizing or breaking on the route. And it seems like Georgia relied on his speed a lot, allowing him to recover. Had some PBUs, of course. He played solid, but just out of what I've seen between the guys that I've watched, I've watched Witherspoon and Gonzalez. Oh, man, Gonzalez. Woo, I watched Joey Porter Jr. These guys are more physical, especially, I could definitely say I got a game or 2 more to watch on Witherspoon, but definitely after watching Porter and Gonzalez, you can see these guys are more physical. Gonzalez is the truth. Porter is pretty good too, but they get their hands on guys, man, and they can play that bump and run type of style. And it's not to say that the Steelers run that a lot, but the Steelers do run a lot of man. Excuse me. The Steelers have started to run a lot of man. And, kind of watching Keeley, it seemed like, Ringo was kind of always a little bit behind in terms of man coverage. Like I said, they relied on his speed a lot. I don't think you're going to just be able to get away with that in the NFL. And it's not to say that you can't, teach that. It's not to say that you can't teach better technique and all that once he gets in the league. You can. You definitely can. The speed is definitely an advantage. And like I said, I haven't really watched a lot of Banks to compare the two, but I might not prefer Ringo as the 17th. If they want to come and get him in the second or the third, I don't know if he's going to be there, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just going off of projections. It wouldn't make me as happy to say that they went and got him, took a chance on him with the first pick. I think maybe there's better quality if you're talking about top 17 players. But if they came back, because I always said keep an eye on Ringo. I was saying this a couple weeks ago. He might be a type of guy that the Steelers are looking at 32 or 49, right? So we might not have to bust our gun early and get one of the top 3 corners in the first. So I would prefer to see Ringo after that 17th pick. Just my opinion right now. But, definitely good question, and I appreciate the donation. So, all right, man, let me go to my list here. And I'm going to ask you guys, as I read these names, which free agent excites you the most? I'm going to give you my opinion. And then once after I give you my opinion, if you put it in here already, it's a chance I might not see it. But if you put the comment there after I'm done, I'll definitely see it. But let's go back, man. So if we go all the way back to Patrick Peterson, he was signed. A couple guys we signed with futures contracts as well. We already know about Roche, but I'm not going to really name those guys. I'm just going to go strictly free agents. Patrick Peterson, Nate Herbig, Cole Holcomb, Elandon Roberts, Isaac Siumalu. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I guess we could say James Pierre as well, because he was a free agent, even though he was one of our own. LaRaven Clark, offensive lineman. And they re-signed one of their own free agents in DeMonte Casey. They re-signed one of their own in Zach Gentry. They've also signed nose tackle Breeden Fihoko. And they've also signed Keanu Neal. All right, so again, I'm just going to give you all of the outside free agents one more time. Keanu Neal, Breeden Fihoko, LaRaven Clark, Isaac Siumalu, Elandon Roberts, Cole Holcomb, Nate Herbig, Patrick Peterson. Now I'm going to give you who my person is, who I'm most excited for, and I'll tell you the reason why. I'm the most excited for Isaac Siumalu. Yes, that is where my excitement lies today, and I will explain to you why. Definitely like the Cole Holcomb signing. I think he's going to be a solid, solidified tackler for us. Can't wait to see, who plays alongside him in the inside linebacker position. Patrick Peterson, I think he's going to be a veteran. Be curious to, veteran leadership more so. Be curious to see how they utilize him. So I like a lot of these picks, but the reason why Seumalo is my favorite is because I want the Steelers to do what they started to do the last 4 or so games in the season. Run the football. And this dude is good. From what I've seen, he can protect in the pass game, and he's pretty solid at run blocking, right? Can't say that any of these guys are perfect. Nobody is. But if you've watched Philly, if you watched the way Philly ran the ball, and you watch some of the plays that has gone off of his side, great blocker, and he also protects the quarterback very well in the pass game. But I'm more excited about our ability to run. Let's not forget Najee Harris. Najee started coming on, man, maybe even before 4 games. I'll say maybe the last 5, maybe 6 games, but at least the last 5 games, we started to see that offensive line get it together. And I want the Steelers to be able to run the rock, to furthermore allow Kenny Pickett to eat. Kenny Pickett, I think, is going to be the best he can be in this year 2, still year 2, but his best is going to be off of play action. His best is going to be where the run is setting up pass, where they're expecting run more, even if it's not play action, but we've just been running it down their throat. Then we decide to throw a quick deep shot on first down, something like that. It's going to open up more one-on-ones to allow guys like Pickens to get more of those opportunities downfield. I think that's where Kenny Pickett will be able to eat, is if he has a complementary run game and the Steelers are run first. Even if we are balanced, if the threat of the run is there, that's where you're going to see this offense flourish, right? Until they get to the point where they're just weapons everywhere. But I think initially, still bringing Kenny Pickett along, still allowing him to learn the game, that run game is going to be important. And I don't want it to be where we're waiting until week 13 before we start seeing the run game. So that's why Seumalo is my favorite and my most exciting free agent, because I think automatically he comes right in and he takes the line to another level. Because he's going to start. There's no question, in my opinion. With the money that they're paying him, he's not sitting on the bench. He will be starting. The question will be, is he going to be at the left or the right? He's played both in his career as far as guard. So very excited by that. Very, very excited by that. So I will ask you guys really quick, man, and then we'll go to the phone calls. And then after that, we can get out of here. Who do you guys feel is your most exciting free agent, and why? Give me the reason why if you can. Let's see. Why Diggy says Seumalo is a versatile guard that can play either side and is physical. Okay, let me just scroll up to see if any of you guys had already given your favorite. Steelers girl. Hello, Steelers girl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Another lady of the chat. You got to say hello. Make sure you guys take time out to say hello to Steelers girl. She says, I'm excited about Isaac Seumalo and Nate Herbig. I also think Peterson will put in that work for Tomlin. Yeah, he will. He will. I believe that as well. But come on, guys, give me some more. Give me some more. Give me some more of why who's your favorite and why. Pittsburgh Toddy, which I also believe is a female listener as well, just looking at the screenshot. But hey, you never know that, that avatar could be of somebody else. I don't want to assume, but if you are a female, hello, welcome to you. I've definitely seen you here a few times. Says Pat Peterson. He still got some tread on the tires. Okay, I'm cool with that. What else y'all got? Hello, Miss Debbie. What's going on, Debbie? Hello. Make sure y'all take time out and say hello to Debbie. Debbie says Herbig, if he has the fight. Nasty that is said that he has. The line needs more of it. Yes, I agree with that. The line definitely needs some attitude. And you know what, Debbie? I'm going to definitely borrow from your page there. Who could we say last year was the dog of the offensive line? Was there one guy that y'all felt like was a dog? The guy that brings a little nasty to the game. You know, like a big ugly. I can't really say there was one. I thought Kevin Dotson would be that guy. He was not. Now, I think Mason Cole was solid last year, but I wouldn't say that he was the dog or the alpha either. So Debbie might be on to something there. And that kid Herbig said he just loves football. He said he'll play punter if he had to. He's a big nasty. I like that. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. Who else? I'm gonna read a few more, then we'll move on. Oh, okay. What's going on, Sade? Everybody say hello to Sade. Pittsburgh Toddy says, it's Sade, Sim. I love her. Okay, great. All right. I didn't know. I didn't know who was who, because I know sometimes you can use different avatars and all of that. And you says, I love her. So I'm wondering if the picture here is someone else and speaking on behalf of Sade. So if so, hello to you. Just kind of trying to decipher the writing there. So, you know, if I'm reading that the wrong way, please let me know. But either way, if it's Sade or if it's somebody representing Sade or Sade is using their account, hello to everybody. Let's see. Cole Holcomb is going to be a tackle machine. Okay, Robert. Anybody else, guys? Give me a couple more and then we'll get the calls. Christopher West says, Ciamalo for me. Real meat and potatoes pickup. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Somebody said Larry Ogunjobi. Okay. And I forgot to mention him, but yeah, he's one of our own free agents that we re-signed. So yeah. And, you know, I could definitely understand someone saying that. Okay, Steelers girl. They said they like Daniels. He felt like a little dog to them when he stood up for Kenny. Okay, that was cool. Jay Underrated also says Ogunjobi. All right, I am not mad at that at all. Evan 420 says Ogunjobi. Not mad at that at all. Yeah, George Pickens was a dog, why Diggy, but we definitely need a beast on that line. We need a big ugly, man. We need somebody that's going to, you know, set the tone on that offensive line. So, all right, man, I'll go ahead and move on. Oh, wait, one more. Joshua Shields says, I like Ciamalo and Neal. Keanu, I know from the Falcons, and Ciamalo looks like a really good guard up front for the Eagles offensive line. My brother is an Eagle fan. Okay. Yeah, I think Ciamalo, to me, it clearly, and again, I'm not saying who's the better player out of those free agents. I'm just talking about where my excitement lies and why. It's because of that run game, man. It's because of that run game. Okay, Evan says Ciamalo is burning out. He feels like, okay, that's something worth keeping an eye on. How old is Ciamalo? Kenya says a pimp named Slickback. Oh, man. That's an inside joke between me, him, and Tony, man, talking about Kendrick Green, man. 29. Okay. All right. So that's something definitely worth keeping an eye on. All right, man. I told y'all I didn't have much tonight, man. I'm really just, you know, trying to burn time, if you will. Let me go ahead and grab a few of these callers, man, and then we'll call it night. Like I said, I'm not feeling 100%, man. I'm starting to feel a little something creep up on me. Let's do it. Looks like the first caller of the night is our good buddy, Mr. Winningham, area 803. How's it going tonight, sir?
Good evening. I hope everybody's having a great time. I hope everybody has a great Easter coming up. And good evening to all the beautiful ladies. Nothing sexier than a woman who knows football. Steelers football. Anyway, I like Isaac Ciamalo and also Herbert because we need a nasty person on the offensive line. Our offensive line has been finesse. Our offensive line hasn't had any meanness at all. If I could get my band, the left tackle, to block every block like he blocks against Myles Garrett, which I mentioned on another show this week, this man would be a Pro Bowler, but he's soft. I hate to say that. You're going through all the things about Bud Dupree. Well, I hope Bud Dupree comes in, and I hope he comes in with the expectations to be a backup, but be ready to start a few games because we know T.J. Watt can be injury prone.
Mm-hmm.
You were going through the nicknames. I used to call him Bud Light.
I like that.
Bud Light. But I like the Siamalu and Herbig also. But I love Patrick Peterson because if we draft not one, but two corners in this draft, that can have a long-term effect with Peterson being around. Plus, if he is as enthusiastic as being able to be put in certain positions, like maybe alongside DeMonte Casey and my man just
Minka.
My mind just went Minka.
Yeah.
My mind just went blank there for Minka's name for example. But I'm excited for this year. But I'm hoping with this draft we're able to make the necessary moves to, picks to put us in position to have a great season. Thank you so much. Everybody have a great Easter.
Man, thank you, Mr. Winningham. Happy Easter to you as well. I love that Bud Light name. I mean, it's so classic. Like that one is right there, a layup for you. That was perfect because he definitely was playing like he was lighting you know what. I love it. I'll just comment real quick too on what you said about Peterson, man. I forgot about that part, man. Tomlin kind of alluded to, him being able to play in different areas and maybe utilizing that. So I am very curious to see how they're going to utilize him, man. I really am. Because, again, even Peterson is saying it himself in his interview. He can't run like he did when he was 21 or 25 or whatever age he said. I think he said something like 26. Excuse me. But he knows that he's 33. He's going to be 33 when the season starts. And, I mean, even just in our division, going against a guy like Jamar Chase, you're just not going to be able to run with these guys. So I'm very curious to see if they are going to put him in a situation where, he's kind of playing back, but again, the addition of Keanu Neal, that's probably going to be your traditional three safety look, KZ and Minka and Neal. So we'll see. Next up is area code 951. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I have a quick comment/question, get your take on it. With the moves that the Steelers have been making in free agency, what do you guys think about the Steelers approaching the draft? Do you guys think they're going to go absolutely need in the first round? Or do you guys think that they're going to go best player available? And specifically, as far as finding just one more weapon for Kenny Pickett, I know a lot of people, obviously, I don't think they're going to go receiver in the first round, but getting that extra receiver in the draft that's a playmaker that will allow them to be able to compete with not only the AFC North, but the rest of the AFC in the NFL. And I'm a firm believer in the Steelers got to be able to put up 20-plus points this year, hopefully, just stay in the conversation. What's your thoughts on that? Thanks for taking my call.
Man, great question, man. I'm trying to be quick with my response. I've been saying it for a few weeks now, and I'm going to stand on it still. I'm not going to back off it yet. I feel like this first round, man, could be a wild card. Meaning, the Steelers could very well go best player available because they are coming back at 32. And that's the only reason why I feel like that. Because think about it. 32. I'm sure there's 32 players on the board and then they can say, yeah, we'd take one of those dudes, right? So if you identify 32 guys, let's say you identify 50. You're picking 32nd. It allows you to do what you want at 17 because you probably still can get great value at 32. So I'll say this. If the Steelers, let's say it like this. If they go best player available, I think they do it at 17. Right? And then you start doing your needs. If that's their vision. So, of course, none of us have no way of knowing, but let's just say in theory, to answer your question, if they go best player available, I think they make that move at 17 as opposed to 32. So, yeah, I think it's possibly going to be best player available. And then from 32 to 49, they're going with need. That'll just be my guess, but who knows? It's all going to depend on who's on the board. You know, because even though I said I don't think they're going to go receiver early, let's assume a guy like Addison is there at 32. You never know. You never know. I still wouldn't necessarily go that route, but you never know. So that's my quick take. All right, next up is area code 318. What you got for us?
Niggers.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna spend a few seconds on that comment there. You know what's funny about people that do what he just did? They seem to think that affects myself or anyone else that he's choosing to call that. The funny thing is the joke is on you because you sit around and you feel like you must do that. Hilarious. That was hilarious. So hopefully that made your night. Man, that's hilarious to me. Let's keep it moving. And just to give you guys a warning, there's another 318 here. So it might be the same person. So let's find out. Let's find out again. 318 again. You're on. What do you got for us?
Oh, well, what's up? Nah, that wasn't me right there.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, I mean, you basically touched up everything, you know, about free agents in the draft. Really, what I really want to call about, man, you know, they was talking, it's kind of off topic, excuse me, but they were talking about the 30 for 30 with the Baltimore Ravens, the 2000 Ravens. I get it, you know what I'm saying? That defense was tough, but I think people sleep on that 2008 Steelers defense. I know I might be a little biased, but that defense was crazy, man. If you go back and watch each game, we really could have went undefeated. I think we won the Super Bowl that year, but that was that year Big Ben that got hurt. He had a nice little start, but he got hurt. But really, if you go back and look at those games, bro, man, that defense was incredible, and I wish we can get back to that. It's one more thing, too. I used to be an Ike Taylor hater, man, when I was younger, but when I realized how good he was, man, he used to hold your best wide receiver, used to follow him, man. I wish we had that on our team, too, man, but they really wasn't it, man. That caller before, he made 318 look bad, man. We don't do that like that, man. You have a good night on.
Yeah, man. That cat, it's like I said, man, it's funny, like, racism and all that is hilarious to me, man, because like those kind of people, like they take time to do that. You know what I mean? It's wow, craziness. But yeah, man, let's get back to what you were saying. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who has not seen it, but go watch the podcast, Big Ben's podcast. Mike Tomlin was on there, and the question came up: which defense did he like better, 2008 or 2010? So I'm not going to give the results. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys. It's a good watch. Real laid-back podcast. That was the first time I had watched, believe it or not, an episode from Ben's podcast. I think I'm going to go watch James Harrison's one now when he was on. Real chill environment. They're tasting beer and all of that. So I will say it starts a little slow, but it's chill. It's like as if they were all just sitting in the house. You know what I mean? But it was very interesting on his take and why. So... But yeah, man, you're absolutely right. 2008 or 2010, them defenses were awesome. I mean, you know, you got to go with the old school word there of awesome. Ain't much more I can say. And it's, you know, one of them you're going to lean more to probably because of, obviously, they won the bowl. And if I'm not mistaken, the 2010 year, we didn't win it, right? Or am I tripping? Yeah, I think that's the one against Green Bay that we lost. So I know some people have a sour taste in their mouth because of that. But if you just look at it in totality, I can see why people can make an argument. You know what I mean, for 2010. So yeah, I don't think you can go wrong either way. All right, looks like we got one more call and we're ended with area code 678. What you got for us?
First off, Tim, such a classy show. How you responded to that young man. I'm from a different time. It was really classy how you laughed it off, you know. Cause I come from a generation where, You know, that was like, ugh, you know. But anyways, getting to why I really called. Shouts out to Mr. Willingham. This young man, I check out a few different podcasts, and he calls in with the same type of class on what's that guy's name? I apologize. That guy got me kind of scrambled. Alex and them boys, and Philly Depot.
Yeah,
he calls in, man, with great questions. You know what I'm saying? I don't like calling. I don't like getting after him. It's a hard show calling after that guy, that young man. But I wanted to say, ask a quick question. Sim, if we got our number one pick at 17 and we weren't able to get a tackle, would you like to see us draft a young man from Georgia, the tight end, the big guy, to like compensate as a tackle / since he's so big, 280, 6 foot, whatever, you know what I'm saying, at 32? And as far as free agent signings, I was glad that we signed Casey. I wish we could have signed Terrell Edmonds too, but I was glad at least we got Casey back in the house. And we got his boy from Atlanta, and hopefully they'll be able to work things out the way Terrell Edmonds and Mika Fitzpatrick. Thanks a lot for taking my call, man. I apologize for being scrabbled. Like I said earlier, that young man kind of rattled. Have a great night, Steelers Nation.
Yeah, man. No problem. We can hear you just fine, man. No problem. But yeah, you know, we let those things roll off of us because we greater than that. And if history lesson for you guys, that what he actually said, if you go look up the word spelled Negus, you'll understand why it rolls off my back. You know, king mentality. Go look that up. But anyway, you said that kid is a tight end. I'm not familiar with him. I'm not too mad at what the Steelers could do at 32. But since I'm not familiar with him, I will throw something else at you. If the Steelers are able to get a tight end, right now my money is on that kid Kincaid from Utah. Oh my goodness. Kenya knows how I feel about him. I actually saw him when I was scouting Gonzalez. It has made me watch a couple more games. I like that Kincaid kid. So, again, I haven't looked at a bunch of tight ends. Y'all know I'm fully transparent with y'all. I haven't really looked at them because I'm not looking for a starter. A compliment piece? Absolutely. But, man, Kincaid. Oh, yeah. Okay, Kenya did tell me about him, Darnell Washington. Okay, I got to check him out. But Kincaid is the dude that's at the top of my mind right now, only because I've just seen his tape recently. So now maybe once I look at Darnell Washington, and I actually did see a game of him, I'm remembering now, but I got to look at him now when I pay attention. I think Kenyon, we might have talked about this dude last year, and not even so much this season, but I'm liking Kincaid right now. Yeah, Steelers cards. He's probably the first dude off the board. That boy nasty. That kid is nasty. He's nasty. So, but yeah, at 6'8", 6'7", 280. Whoo-hoo. Yeah. That's nasty. That's nasty. I don't think you can lose with that. But again, long-winded here. If I'm thinking tight end today to complement or pair with Freiermuth, Kincaid is that dude, man. Like that kid a lot. All right, actually, we do have one more call, so we'll take one more call, and then we'll wrap things up. Area code 330. What you got for us?
Hey, yo, what up, son? It's Jerome. That's been a minute, man.
What's going on?
Ask you that if we don't have no corner, the top list cats on our board, would you trade away the 17th pick, or would you just take the best player on the board?
I probably, and thanks for your call, Deron, man. Haven't heard from you in a while. Good to hear from you again, my brother. Y'all not gonna like my answer. I can take these headphones off now. I'm not the trade back type of guy. Only because I'm of the mindset is if your guy isn't there, let's just act like we're in the war room. Let's say all of us are in the war room and our intention is to get this particular position, one or two positions, and we want this guy or that guy, and neither one of them are there. I still kind of feel like I'm in the mindset of take the best player available in that situation, as opposed to trading back. The reason why I say that, and again, it could be totally wrong, is because I kind of feel as if when you trade back, you still don't know quite what you're going to get, if that makes sense, right? Unless, for instance, this particular draft, they say cornerback is deep. You don't have to get one of the top guys. There are plenty of corners in this draft. You could probably get top quality there. So maybe if you trade it back, somebody could say, well, look, if we trade back, we get more picks and there's more opportunity to get this guy, get that guy. Fair. But I'm just not the trade back guy. And again, maybe I wouldn't make for a good GM in that regard. Maybe I'd be a better scout. But I'm just not a trade back type of guy. I'm not opposed to why you do it. I just never see it that way because I always want, even though I know it's an oxymoron statement, because I'm the same guy that would say, man, you might find a dude in the 6th round. Antonio Brown, anybody? I am of the belief of that. Or undrafted free agent. James Harrison, anybody? But at the same time, if I'm drafting and I'm in the business of drafting, of course you're going to go with the top projected guys. That's just the nature of the business. So I would prefer to get the best player available at 17, even if the two positions I was dead set on and two guys I was dead set on are gone. I'd rather get BPA right there and then start filling in spots behind that. That's just me. Whereas I know some of you guys is like, nah, let's trade that one and pick up another. You could swap another round with somebody and pick up another pick. I see why you do it. It's just never really been my thing. So hopefully you guys understand my point with that. So, yeah. There you have it. All right, man, I'm going to spend a little bit of time with you guys in the chat, man. What y'all got? We got a few more minutes here. It looks like we got about 9 minutes, and we did it. I tried to make it short, but y'all keep me going, man. So my goal is really just to always stay under the hour. So we're definitely going to make that happen tonight. What y'all got, man? Whoa. Oh, that's my son. Hey, man, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Mace? Yeah, I was about to go crazy. I was about to go crazy just now because I thought somebody was being funny till I read the name. So that's little Sim in there talking to me. Everybody say hello to Mason. I'm not gonna call him Little Sim. And that is my son. And my son's name is Mason. And don't say nothing stupid, because I don't play that. So I'm just letting y'all know. Don't say nothing stupid. But what y'all got, man? Kev So Fun says, I heard the Steelers are into Tyrese Stevenson. Yeah. Is it Tyrese or Tyreek? But either way, I know who you're talking about. What else y'all got? Debbie says, I'm good with trading back, maybe at 32, not 17. Okay, see Debbie speaking my language a little bit. She says, I think there is more capital to get in the picks at that position. Yeah. You might be on to something. See, and that's kind of what it is, Debbie. I'm usually just not the trade down from the first round type of guy. But what you're saying absolutely makes sense. Because especially, see, I didn't even think about that. See, I told y'all, the ladies over here that be in this chat, they ain't for play. They smart. Because y'all know it's a male-dominated sport, right? And people be trying to chump women's opinion. Not over here. Debbie brings up a wonderful point. 32 is a luxury. That's the pick where other teams going to be looking. Especially if that board is falling crazy. They're going to be in there like, me. What you want? We want that 32. What do you want from us? That is the position, if you trade back, it's probably going to have more value. You are absolutely right, Debbie. Let's see. What else y'all got? Y'all ain't got nothing else? Chat has gone quiet. Let's scroll up a bit. Let's scroll up a bit and see what else we got. I think the chat is frozen on me. Hold on. Let me go to my phone. I think the chat just froze on me on my stream. Yeah, what y'all say? What y'all say here? Oh, that's sweet. I appreciate y'all, man, saying hello to my little man. Appreciate that. Okay, here we go. We back. It says, do we go offensive line at 17? Very possible, Sonny. Very possible. Very possible. Very possible. Nah, he not old enough to be a mod. Cam so far. He's not old enough. He's only 9 years old. But, you know, he's going to be something. Deron says, are you still going to do Madden? I am. You know, I've been up and down with Madden because let's just face it, Madden just hasn't been it. I don't even play in my online league anymore, but I think what I'm going to do, y'all, you know, because if I'm being honest, I need to produce more content on my channel, you know, and more than just Steelers terrible towel. So what I'm probably going to do after the draft and when people update the rosters, I might do a series because I've found some sliders through a couple guys, man, that's making the gameplay a little better. So, you know, I think I might do that. But that won't be until after the draft if I do it. What else y'all got? Would you take Jalen Carter if you there? Oh, he's asking Kenyon. Yeah, me and Kenyon both have talked about Jalen Carter, and the answer would be yes. The answer would be yes. I'm waiting to see what Kenyon's take is on that, but yeah. Yes, the answer would be yes. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Yeah, still a car. See, I didn't know that he's denying guys. I did not know that. Did not know he was doing that. It's one of those things, man, and I don't want to be one of these type of guys, but I'm going to just keep it honest. The dudes play on field. If the Steelers were able to like really feel comfortable about anything he might do outside the field or off the field, you know, we know he had that situation. Bro, I'm taking him, dog. Like that dude is a monster. That dude is you can't deny what he does on the field. However, you got to pay attention to what he's doing off the field. That can't go unnoticed. All right, we're gonna give it a few more minutes. Sonny says, what corner? Kenya, I want your take on this too. Oh, he's already said maybe 7 CB. All right, since Kenyon already answered that, and don't worry, that resident scout will be back on soon. I'm trying to decide. We probably will do a steel table. We'll probably do a steel table right before the draft. So maybe we'll do it like we did last year. We'll do a steel table show maybe that Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we're going to do the live show. It's going to be myself, Kenyon, Tony, if he's available. And I know some of the ladies are coming on as well. So we're going to do just like we did last year. So Kenyon, I think that works best. Maybe we do that steel table, kind of give our thoughts on what they might do at 17, guys we're really looking at, guys that we, are hoping for, such and such and such. And then, that's how we'll do it. But Kenyon is right. And since he took the approach by just saying it's about 7 cornerbacks, I'm going to go out on the limb. A long limb, right? Like everybody can figure what I'm about to say here. If I had my choice today, it is absolutely Christian Gonzalez. There's nothing else for me to say. That's my dude right there. And I'm going to be honest, man. I was late on him. I was late on him. I don't be watching no game. No, I don't see Oregon games as often. That kid, bruh. Bruh. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, Christopher, it's going to be a live draft stream. Yes. Yes, Sonny. And listen, it's not because I like Joey Porter Jr. as well. Again, it's not fair to those guys. You know, I've watched 3 games apiece on both of them. I do like Joey Porter Jr. as well. Very up in your face too. But Gonzalez, man, excuse me, the games that I saw, wow. Actually, I would ask you guys, for you guys who have watched Christian Gonzalez, give me a game that you think he didn't play as well, and let me watch that and see if I come away with the same feeling. But the games that I watched, this dude is just, he's physical. His instincts are good. He gets his hands on you. He doesn't seem to get fooled often or spun around. He can tackle. You know, it's just his approach. You know, he just looked like a dog out there. He looks like he's engaged at all times. And like I said, I would not be mad if it was Porter Jr. Absolutely not. But today, my feelings today is Gonzalez is my CB1. Yeah, Rajon, he is, man. This dude is. I mean, Kenya, we can do all that. As long as you're available, we could do all of that. Okay. Kenya said he got cooked in against Georgia, so I need to watch that. Brent's is my next corner to watch. He's actually next on my list, Jay. He's the next guy. He is my very next guy to watch. Dad, are you going to get back to the games? Yes, I am, son. I'm gonna get back to streaming games as well. As some of you, well, most of y'all know, we're almost at the finish line. You know, it went kind of fast, didn't it? But we will be closing on the new home on the 14th. We right around the corner. It's next week, next Friday. Well, Friday after this upcoming Friday. So, yeah. And when I get back there and settle in, you know, I'm going to get things back cooking, man. I'm actually going to put a new coat of paint on the show here. You guys will see that. And I'm going to get back into doing some streaming, man. Maybe once or twice a week as far as games. So, we shall see. But all right, man, that's my time. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging there with me tonight, pushing me through. Always appreciate the good company, man. I appreciate the viewership because, again, y'all don't have to do it. You know, and as many of you guys have said tonight, y'all watch more than just me. So you're giving me your time as well as Steelers Depot and whoever else and Moats, his show. Like, so to be included in that mix and you guys come out each and every week, much love to y'all, man. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, very humbled by that. But also, before I go, y'all know what I'm going to do right here. I just need you to do 3 things for me that cost nothing. The 3 for free. Thumbs up. Subscribe. Cut on your notifications. That's all I ask. If you don't do anything else, hit the like button. The like button extremely helps the video. You guys have no idea. Thumb it up. Thumb it up. What's up, brother? All right, get out of here. There he is. He wanted to say hello. But all right, man, I'm going to go ahead and go. Catch you guys in the next one. Like always, stay safe. God bless. Good night. Thank you for tuning in to Terrible Towel Tuesday. Catch you next week. Peace.